Hey guys, what's going on? It's Cole Walter here. This is my 500th video. Technically, my 500th video, I count the shorts in that as well, because on YouTube, when you go to the very top, it says subscribers and then it says videos, and they count shorts in that. So therefore, this is my 500th video. If you want to argue with me, go ahead and do it. And I've made a lot of these specials. I like doing different things, and in this one, we're actually going to be talking to Floyd Samson, because it's really cool to find out all the stuff that we didn't know about Floyd, and we get to find out and discover through talking to him. So I'm going to be interviewing Floyd in this video, and it's going to be a great time, and yeah, so let's get into it.
Hey everybody, my name is Floyd Samson. I am a singer-songwriter from San Angelo, Texas, and today is Christmas, so Merry Christmas to everybody who's watching.
So Floyd, when did you first start making music?
So I started making music I started writing lyrics a lot in 2011 and putting melodies to the lyrics, but I didn't start recording music and making my songs become a reality until 2016.
What was the inspiration for making music?
So that's a great question. I love folk music, and I love stripped down stuff that's very lo-fi and at the same time pretty melodic. And I love guys like Cat Stevens, John Denver, Jim Croce, Stan Rogers, James Taylor, all those 70s singer-songwriters that made folk or folk rock music. I love those guys. And Graham Nash would be another one. But my dad, he had a comment one time, or at least a quote. One time I asked him, I said, what made you want to grow your own tomatoes? This was back in the day when we grew all of our own vegetables. When I was real little, me and my older brother Patrick, we helped my parents farm tomatoes and peppers. And my dad said, I grew my own tomatoes because the tomato that I wanted didn't exist. Everywhere I ate an H-E-B tomato or a Walmart tomato, everywhere I ate tomatoes, they never tasted the way I wanted them, so I made my own to taste the way I wanted. And homegrown tomatoes tasted better. So I applied that philosophy to the music that I was making, that I thought I wish I could just go buy a CD of stripped down acoustic guitar with just a guy singing about what he likes, and every time I got something close, it was always something that I didn't like, and I thought, I'm gonna make my own. And that's kind of what inspired me to start making my own folk music.
What's with the name Robert F. Samson?
Robert F. Samson is the original alias that I chose. So obviously Floyd Samson is my stage name. Maybe not obvious, but that's not my actual name. That's what I go by. And just like how Cat Stevens, his name was Stephen Dimitri Gorgio, and he started going by Cat Stevens. Of course, now he goes by Yusuf / Cat Stevens, depending on what album you buy. Robert F. Samson was my original alias that I applied to my song lyrics and my short stories that I wrote. I still write short stories occasionally, not like I used to, but I like to write short stories, and I have a collection of them somewhere. And I chose Robert F. Samson. Of course, the F stands for Floyd, but Robert is the, of course, formal version of Bob, and Bob Dylan is another one of my greatest influences. I love the music of Bob Dylan. So anytime somebody tells me, or I hear somebody say that I'm missing notes or I can't sing or something, I say, well, neither could Bob Dylan, so I think we're okay. And he actually can sing pretty good. He has his own style.
What are all the instruments that you can play?
So I typically play the guitar. I'm more of a strummer. I can do some finger work, not much. I'm more of just a bare bones guitar player that just plays for rhythm, so I don't know how to do a whole lot of stuff. But I can make some pretty good melodies on harmonica occasionally. I have a little Yamaha keyboard that I sometimes use to put in little licks here and there. I do like percussion occasionally, or more of a kind of beats. Like I have a little wooden frog that I got from a shop in San Antonio that you rub this little mallet on the ridges of the frog, and it makes like a wooden frog noise. It's kind of more aesthetic and ambient. So the guitars, a little bit of keyboard, a little bit of harmonica, and a little bit of percussion.
Are there any instruments that you would like to play in the future that you haven't currently played?
I would love to be, even though I can tinker on the piano, I would love to be able to get on a piano like Elvis Presley does in Unchained Melody and just play chords and just sing on chord. I would love to do that. I don't really have the best left-hand experience with piano. I can play a melody on a piano and memorize it and have fun on it, but I would not consider myself a piano player. So I would love to be I would love to play the piano, kind of like I play the guitar. Just be able to get on there and play basic chords and sing whatever I want to.
Is there a style of music that you haven't really made but you would like to?
Heavy rap. No, I'm just kidding. Definitely not rap. I would like to make Owl City style synth pop. You know, that electronica. I have a side project called Albedo Mission that's kind of in the electronic, but it's still all analog. I still filmed it all, or not filmed. I still recorded it all analog, straight into a microphone. But I would love to get into some software and make some synthy electronic music like Owl City does. Fireflies is one of my all-time favorite songs. Owl City is one of my all-time favorite musicians. I love his work. I would love to make more stuff like that.
Speaking of Albedo Mission, what are the plans for that?
So, I have another Albedo Mission album in the works. It's been in the works for a long time now. It's a side project. My 99% of my focus is on the Floyd Samson side. But my Albedo Mission project, which is more science fiction based, more synthy, more electronic or electric. It's definitely unplugged in. I use a chorus pedal a lot for my guitar work on that. I have another album called The White Box that I've written a lot of lyrics for. That's actually a concept album that's supposed to tell my version of The Empire Strikes Back, which is my all-time favorite movie. And it's going to be 10 tracks, and every track is supposed to be a part of the film, kind of adapted into my own musical experience. And I'm working on it. I don't know when it'll be released. It could be next year, and it could be 5 years from now. But eventually there will be another Albedo Mission album.
Speaking of side projects, what can you tell us about your other two side projects, the Woodfront Brothers and Nobat?
So the Woodfront Brothers is a side project I have with my younger brother, Cole Walter, who's interviewing me right now.
Hi.
And that is, we plan on releasing an album sometime in 2026, and I've already laid down vocals and guitar on one song, and it's going to be more of a Simon and Garfunkel type thing where we're going to sing together. I'm letting Cole, he's writing all the lyrics to it, and I'm coming up with the melodies, and I'm just playing the guitar, and we're going to sing on them together and hopefully have a CD before the end of 2026. That'd be wonderful. That's the plan. And then I have another band with my older brother, Patrick, who he goes by Victor Black in his musical world, and we're working on an album. Our band is called Nobat, and it's basically a drumless heavy metal punk band where my older brother, Victor Black, he does all the screaming and the singing, and I just riff on the guitar. I just get my guitar out, I make it as fuzzy and distorted as possible, and just try to make really fast-paced riffs that are mean and gritty. But the music is not bad, or the lyrics are not bad at all. We don't say bad words, we don't talk poorly about stuff. We literally have a song called Pizza Run where we're talking about going and getting pizza. That's the kind of stuff. We have an album we're working on called Kids Get Angry Too. So sometime we'll make an album, a full album.
What is the plan for 2026?
I don't know. 2026, I hope I get the Woodfront Brothers album done. I hope I get. I have another album that I'm working on right now that I'm writing. I have probably 20 songs that I'm writing for another album, and I'm about to design the album cover. I plan to release that probably in early spring because I'm going to work on it a lot during January and February and really pump out some songs. So I'll have another album on CD. I hope to get all my other albums that I haven't released on CD, like Woodlander and Out of the Woods. I'm hoping to get those on CD as well. So I'll have all my albums on CD. I hope to maybe land in a recording studio once or twice. I have some arrangements that I'm working on to record a song in an actual recording studio with an actual music producer and mixer. And then I have another friend who wants me to go to Austin to record vocals for another song. So I have that. Those are some of my plans for 2026.
Occasionally people bring up the kind of unconventional approach you have to your music, whether it's your lyrical writing or the way your songs sound, or just things being off key, things not sounding good, things sounding low quality. What do you have to say about all that?
So all of my music that I make everything that I do, it's a side project. I have a full-time job, and music is not it. So on my days off, which normally I only have 1 to 2 days off a week, or if I'm or at night in the evening, if I'm not spending time with my wife and she's doing something else and I have some time alone, I'll work on some music. So I make music purely for fun. And even though I consider myself a singer, I consider myself a musician, I aim for my version of perfection when I'm making music. But I know nothing is perfect. Everything I do is just raw. I'm singing and playing into a Yeti microphone and then mixing everything on Audacity. So I don't spend a whole lot of money on my music. I try to do it as cheaply as possible and make the songs that I want to. Most of all of my music would probably sound like early demos to professional musicians because this is how I do it. But I'm thinking as long as the melody is there and as long as there's singable qualities and people want to listen to it and I want to listen to it, then I'm happy. And that's my main focus is if I like it, I'll release it. Or if I like it, I'll make it. And if I don't like the song, I'm not going to make it. And if other people like it, that's just a bonus. So I'm going to be out of tune. I'm going to be off key sometimes. I sing the best I can. And if it ever sounds bad, well, it sounds bad. I'll do better the next song.
All right, last but not least, what is any advice you have to any musicians who, like yourself, are not very popular and are just making music on the side?
My best advice would be to, first off, I'd pray about it. Give as much to God as possible. That's number one. And don't stop dreaming. And number three, just make music. Just make it. I've talked to a lot of people before who ask me stuff like, how do you keep making music or how do you come up with new ideas? And I say, I just come up with it. I may have a musical idea that's absolutely terrible, but I make it anyway. You can listen to any Elvis record from start to finish, and you'll find one or two songs that don't sound near as good as the other songs. That's a lot of albums. Not every album is perfect. Not every album is Pet Sounds or Tea for the Tiller Man or You Don't Mess Around with Jim. There are albums out there where, this album may be 99% perfect, but 1% may be okay. That's my philosophy on making music is if there's 1% that's just okay, well, I still made something. So my advice to people who are doing that is make music no matter what you think. If you think you can't sing, who cares? Make it. That'll get better. You'll get better eventually. There are people who play sports who were at one point horrible at sports. No one is just born and they know how to be a quarterback. They usually are horrible first, and then they wind up becoming the next Tony Romo. He was a great quarterback. So that's my advice, is just make music. Just make it, no matter what you think. If you do it on the side, just have fun doing it and make it for yourself. Don't worry about what other people want. Don't listen to the radio and think, oh, I want to be the next Benson Boone. That's great to think that way, but don't worry if your music doesn't sound as good. Just make music. And Benson Boone sounding good is debatable anyway. But anyway, so just make music, believe in God, pray about it, dream about it, and then just do it. That's my advice.
All right, guys, I thank y'all so much for watching my 500th video. Floyd was nice enough to let me interview him and get some questions out there that you guys wanted to know. I kind of knew a lot of the answers to these questions already, but I wanted you guys to be able to know these things about Floyd and for Floyd to be able to tell y'all these things himself. So thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful day. Floyd, you got anything else to add? God bless everybody. Have a Merry Christmas. And remember that the reason we celebrate this holiday is because Jesus was born not on December 25th. I don't want all the pagan people to come attack me, but we celebrate Jesus' birth on December 25th. That's the reason we have this holiday. So Merry Christmas to everybody, and praise Jesus. All right. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.